Hello everybody, shift your mindset here. Together with my wife, I snatched her away from the sun because it's beautiful weather here. But we have a new episode and I want some outside opinions also from it. And I want you guys to leave in the comments how you feel about this topic. And the topic of today is: a friend in need is no friend indeed. We do a little riddle.
A friend in need is no friend indeed.
Is no friend indeed.
Hoezo niet?
Why not?
Sorry, I'm blonde, but I want to understand. Want dat betekent toch een vriend die hulp nodig heeft, is geen vriend.
Die heeft geen vrienden. Ja.
Dus dat klopt niet.
Yes.
Okay,
A friend in need is no friend indeed. So that's what I want to say is my experience, and you can prove me wrong, leave it in the comments. My experience is that it's hard to almost impossible to have real friends inside the religion. Because what's friendship? What's friendship for you?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. What is a real friend?
What
And maybe for everyone it's different.
What is a real friend for you?
For me, a real friend is someone who is there for me when I most need it. I mean, when I feel I need someone to talk to, I call my friends and they will listen to me. And it doesn't mean that they have to agree with me. It's just someone who is listening. If someone calls me and they need me, my friends, I will always be there for them. Of course, if they want to do crazy stuff, like killing someone, I will tell my friends.
You're not gonna join.
I will try to tell them not to do this,
Yeah,
of course. But
that's also
okay, we don't have to say this, but I always want to say this because, you know, whatever, sorry. So that's, for me, that's a real friend. Someone who is there for you, who listens to you, who wants to help you to feel good. To be
in the good and the bad times.
In the good, yeah. In the good and in the bad times. Exactly that.
That's for me the same.
Yeah.
But I was growing up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I was a little boy. And of course I had friends in the congregation, in the Kingdom Hall where we were. But the thing is, you have one common thing, and that's the religion.
Yeah.
So you only have friends in that religion. That's the first problem you encounter as a little boy, because you also like your friends at school, but those are bad friends. So the perspective of a friend is already clouded in my younger years. So
it's already like conditions.
Yes, because I only have people in my congregation who can be friends. And are my parents thinking that they are not good association for me? Because I had a friend in the Kingdom Hall, but he sweared, so curse words. And then my parents said, you cannot play with them for the next month or whatever, and we look into that. So when I was little, people are telling me who could be my friends and who could not be my friends. And when I'm growing up, then you also know who your friends are. Because when you walk in line, you think you have a lot of friends. Because you have 100 people in your congregation. Outside the side of that, you have assemblies, you meet people, blah, 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 and you think you have one big family.
Do you also feel like that in the beginning? That you have a lot of people around you who are there for you? Does it feel like that? Yeah?
In the beginning, you think they have the best interest in you. Yes. Okay. And as long as you are frequently going to the meetings,
They all are nice to you.
They are nice to you, and sometimes you do stuff together or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I said a friend in need is no friend indeed. If it's getting a little bit tougher, then people disappear.
So it's again conditional friendship.
Yes, because as long as they see you as an active member,
Mm-hmm.
doing the right things,
Mm-hmm.
they are your friends.
It's friendship based on rules, okay.
Yes, and I'm not saying because that the individual JW, deep down inside they mean it, they mean well. They are good people. I know a lot of JW people who are in the core good people. But the problem is the organization who gives direction in what's good and what's bad.
Yeah, and the problem is that the people start to be conditioned from, then they really start to believe that it's the truth. So that's why they do like you say, I also don't think are bad people at all. But they are just following rules.
But what did I struggle with in the beginning when I started to know you? What kind of connection I struggled with?
What you mean? You mean to talk to each other?
Emotional. The emotional connection was a struggle for me when I was knowing her.
Yes.
And then you have...
And do you remember that I asked you in the evening when we were together, we had a moment for each other, and I was telling you, what are you thinking about? Because I saw you were like just thinking, but I wanted to know what was going on in your mind. But then it was weird for you that I was asking you these things. You were like, I don't know, I'm just, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember it, but that's the problem. The emotional connection is zero with other people in your congregation. You have a common thing, and that's the religion. So you talk about religion and stuff, but you don't talk about feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I'm expressing my feelings, what I'm thinking at that moment, it could get me in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got to know her, that mindset went on in my head. That if I'm saying what I'm really thinking, honest thinking, it gets me into trouble.
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with her, because I wouldn't get in trouble because she loves honesty.
Let's be honest, you got in trouble because you didn't tell your emotions.
And then I get in trouble for not expressing my emotions and my feelings. So it was a real mind fuck for me.
Yeah.
Because I was used to stuff it down, because when I really honestly saying what I'm thinking, you never know who you can trust with your honesty, with your doubts, with your what's really going on inside your head. Because if I say something to the wrong one who I think I can trust, it would get me in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
So it's a superficial kind of friendship. Yeah, you can't call it friendship, but you have to name it something. But it's more like talking to an acquaintance.
Yeah.
Someone you don't know, you don't tell them how much you have on your bank account or whatever, the private stuff you keep out of it if you have an acquaintance. But if you have a really good friend, you can tell them everything. But telling people what you really, really feel deep down inside, I have doubts about the organization or that teaching, it's kind of strange. How do you think I got in trouble with expressing my doubts at the overlapping generation, one of the teachings? I got in a lot of trouble because why would you question it? So it's like internal police. If you say something wrong, they chop your head off. So it's really...
And people are going to judge you.
Yes, and it's really hard to invest in a friendship because at the end, I noticed they're not there for you.
Yes, because they are afraid.
Yes.
And because they have their beliefs.
I saw it when I divorced. Everybody was gone. You thought you had a lot of friends, so that's why I say it in the topic, a friend in need. I was not an elder, I was not a ministerial servant at that time. I had no real job in the congregation. And then you realize that it was all, they faked their friendship for you because I was in need. I was getting divorced. I had a mortgage on my own name instead of on two names. I don't know if you guys know it, but a divorce is not cheap. I lost my job in the same week that my wife ran away. So everything fell down on me in one occasion. So I was in a lot of, how do you call it? Stress, but also in need of a friend.
Of someone, yes, of course.
And the only friend I had at that time was Dominique.
Thank you, Do, if you're listening.
Do, if you're listening. He is not the most active JW, still in the religion, but on his own terms. So I applaud that. But he was the only one who was a listening ear. He was calling me, hey, how are you holding up? Stuff like that. And that's what I mean. That's for me friendship.
That's real.
Yes, that's
right?
Real. Yeah. And also someone who tells you that they don't agree with you, but still love you for who you are.
Yeah, someone can tell you like, Sven, I don't agree with what you are doing.
Yeah.
But if you have this friendship, you will never leave your body just like that. Yeah, for me again, these are crazy things to talk about because it doesn't make any sense for me. And I understand that your friends, they really think that you are doing something wrong, so they cannot be friends. They're just following the rules again. But if I would ask them maybe from their heart, like, what do you really feel about Sven? What do you think? They cannot answer it because they just answering, yeah, but we know he's doing something wrong, so the friendship is gone. So it's all very fake. It's not real.
No, it's superficial because they always go back to what they know, and what they know is what someone is telling them to do.
Yes.
And that's
so
easier.
I don't blame them
No, I don't blame them also, but it's easier to do something where you can hide behind, because they hide behind the rules of God and the organization and stuff like that. So they don't have to make up their own mind and their own feeling and express their own feelings, because that would be great, that someone goes inside, okay, what do I feel?
Yeah, but then they risk Armageddon, and they risk that's the crazy thing about these leaders that making this all so real. And
because the ideal friendship with someone would be, okay, I don't agree with you, but if you need me, I'm there.
Yeah, but they think Jehovah is listening.
Do you think that your parents were always agreeing with all your decisions in life?
No, and we had also fights.
Yeah.
But deep down, we knew also that love is something so strong that kan alles overstijgen.
Rise above everything.
Yes, because at a certain point you learn and you see oh, my dad wasn't that wrong, and then you start to talk to each other, and you communicate with each other, and you start to understand each other's point of view and to respect each other. And I think that's what love, and what God, if there's a God, wants, you know.
Yeah, but that's a good one you mention, because they also don't admit that they were wrong.
No, because they cannot, because if they do, they have to say, okay, I'm wrong, then I'm doing everything wrong, you know. Their whole life is around that.
Yeah, but also the leaders never tell to the people that they were wrong in a certain teaching or a certain rule or whatever.
But they know, they are wrong.
Yeah,
it's just it's a game.
Yeah,
it's not a game. It's fucked up. It's really big.
For them, it's a game, for the leaders, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, but admitting you're wrong. That's also in the friendship of the JWs. They never admit that they are wrong. They make a U-turn and blah 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 blah, but they never say, hey, listen to me, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, blah blah blah. No, never. I never hear those stories. Yeah, based on the information, we were right and blah blah blah, blah, and they make another story of it. But just admit that you're wrong. That's also friendship. Because we all make mistakes.
Yeah, but I think that's also the main thing in the Jehovah religion. They know the truth and they are above, so they are never wrong, you know.
No, but it's so.
And that's already very.
No, but it's heartbreaking, because you have a lot of stories of people who are elderly people. Had to go to the hospital and laying there a week alone in their bed, and no one is visiting them. And they are in that religion for more than 50, 60 years. They gave their time, they gave their energy, they gave they gave money, and then when they are in need, and that's why real friends are shown by something when you are in need.
Yeah.
Because you can think you have 10 friends, but believe me, when you are in need, try to call someone at night, or try to call someone if you are in need. And I thought I had a friend, but he was just becoming a father. And he said, oh, if there's something, Sven, let me know. And that's the basic sentence of the Jehovah's Witnesses. If I can do something for you, let me know. And then they go on their way. But if I was in need, with the divorce or with whatever later, after I get this fellowship or this association, everybody was gone. But then it was my fault, my fault. But when you are in need, everybody says, oh, let me know if I can do something for you. But if you pick up that phone and have the courage, because you feel ashamed maybe that you need money, that you have to ask somebody for money, or that you have to ask somebody for help. We have a lot of feelings then, and maybe it's very difficult to ask for help even. But if you ask for help, all those people who said to me, oh, let me know if we can do something, or I wanted just to talk to my friend, so I was going to his home because I felt lonely, I felt I was just divorced, it was one big mess, I had no job, so I drove to him, and then he said, oh no, I have no time now because I have to put the baby in bed and stuff like that. And that's hitting hard for a lot of JW people, but also ex-JW people. I think it makes very hard for people to build a friendship now.
And you were asking me in the beginning, what is friendship for
Yes.
you? And what you are telling now, I think that is where friends are for. For
Yes.
these moments that you are having a hard time, to have someone who is there for you.
Yeah.
That's not judging you.
No,
That's
and
listening to you.
And it's not even a sacrifice, because if someone is coming here it's something you want to do, you know?
It's natural.
Yeah, like Aubrey, the guy who works here in the garden for us, at his other employer, a horse kicked him in the head, and he had a big gap in his head, and he should have worked that day here, but he didn't show up. No problem, can happen. But when we heard that he was in the hospital, the minute after that we were in the car.
Of course.
And not because of we're gonna take care of him or whatever. No, it's that.
It's natural. It's
It's
something.
that. Yeah, that's just. Oh, I'm so happy I can help him. I love him. He's always taking care of us here, and
the feeling like, how is he doing?
Yeah,
I want to go to him.
I want to see how he's
It
doing.
should be something natural, I think, but of
And-
course there is nothing natural because it's all from the books.
And that's my problem. And it's not my problem anymore, because if you are JW and you are watching this right now, or you are halfway in, halfway out, trust me, it's very, very easy to build up a friendship outside of the religion. I know what is taught to you. I know they teach you that you can only have friends inside the religion, but people outside of the religion are also people with very good hearts. You see it when there's a disaster, or there's a flooding, or there's a hurricane, or whatever. People are always taking care of each other. And that's the kind of friendship you want. Because now we are away. We are far away from our friends and family.
Yeah.
But if you were in danger or you were laying in a hospital, how long would it take for your father or your mother or your best friend to book a ticket? 5 minutes?
1 minute, 1
1
second.
minute,
But
1
that's
second.
what I mean. I have also friends. One good friend of mine lives in Mallorca. We don't see each other a lot, but even if we don't see each other for 1 year, it doesn't matter because the connection is real. And that's what I'm talking about. It's something that it doesn't matter what you're doing together. It matters if you are there for each other.
Yes.
When you need each other.
Not the friendship that if you didn't text her for 1 week, that then you
then
get
why
a text.
Are you not touching me?
yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah.
No.
No, it doesn't.
You respect each other. You are that. You know you are there for each other.
Yeah,
And-
no struggle with maintaining that friendship.
No, exactly. No, not like oh my god. This no. It's just.
Or we shouldn't. We should call more often, and I want to call 2 times a week or whatever. They demand of you. Real friendship demands nothing. I
Yes,
think.
Yeah. And I also believe you don't need like a lot of friends.
No.
I have a few friends, but they are really like really good friends, and that you know what you were saying. You can just they will always be there for you. Whatever happens, they will be there for you, and I think that's so hoe zeg je dat belangrijk en waardevol.
Important.
Yeah, and to be grateful for when you find these kind of people that take you for who you really are. When I'm mad, they love me. When I'm happy, they love me. When I'm crazy, they love me. They just love me for who I am.
Yeah.
And they know me for who I really am.
Yeah. And also, if they don't agree with you, that they tell you.
Yes,
that
we
they don't
can
agree.
talk. That's nice also. That
Or
you
maybe
can talk with each
fight
other.
with each other.
Well, or argue like
Or
that. I
argue.
don't believe that shit what you are saying.
Yeah.
But you still love each
Yeah.
other, you know, because it's not about that.
It's not
It's
about
just about love for each other.
that. Yeah, that's real friendship.
But
That's the key, I think.
yeah, of course. But I think in the end, it's all about this word conditional, you know, because it all starts with that. Otherwise, also the Jehovah people wouldn't have problems if they were told that they can love everyone, that everyone is the same, that we all are the same. Then they would believe that too, but
Yeah.
they believe something else because it's written there, because they're very smart leaders. But what would you say when I ask, like, why do people in that religion never think about that their God is conditional? Why is that not a question that is coming up? Do you understand my question?
Yeah, no, because they just believe that everything he tells us, because he created us, that he also knows what's best for you, and that are his rules, and you obey that.
Yeah. So they believe that their God has rules and has conditional love for them. Why they never ask themselves, maybe I'm wrong, maybe my God is unconditional love?
Yeah, then they wouldn't be in that religion.
Yeah, but that's a good question.
Yeah, that's
right?
a good
I would
question,
want to
yeah.
hear from them what they were saying about that. What they would say about that. It can be also bad for God if he hears this, that people tell him he's conditional,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I think it is, but that's the problem. It's just, and that would be the ideal relationship in the Jehovah's Witness religion. If you just could be friends, express your feelings. Vulnerability is not a weakness, but you don't know it if you are a JW, because if you're vulnerable, then people are gonna talk about you and question your motives and have an opinion about you or judge you, or you're not being that liked active member in the community anymore. So it is hard, and so I have a lot of empathy for the individuals in the Jehovah's Witness who really try their best to be the best version of themselves. But if you go deeper than that, if you just try it outside of the religion, you will notice that there are deeper connections for you in life than you have experienced till now. And that's my message, that the world isn't that bad as what the Jehovah's Witness religions paints it, as one big Sodom and Gomorrah. But there are so many loving people who are there for you when you need it. I have even here people, we only live here for 6 months. If I call now, if I put a message out in the community chat, more than 5 people are showing up within 10 minutes. And those people I hardly know. I seen them maybe once or twice, or we talked very briefly with each other. But that's just what we do, what we want, to help another. And if you have that,
the people here in Africa are also very
helpful. Yeah.
And
I must
different
admit.
from Europe. Not
Yes.
that Europe, because I'm also from Europe. I don't want to judge it, but I want to say that it's different. It feels different here. The mentality, they are very still very simple, and that I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, that's a big plus here. Everybody loves to. It's more service-like minded people.
And no judging.
No
don't
judgment,
judge you
but
at all.
A lot of people are. We see it in the West where we come from. A lot of people are busy with work, with themselves, with the kids, with this, with that. But the quality of life is in the simple things. And how beautiful would it be that you have a good friend, and you can sit together outside with a glass of wine or cappuccino or whatever you want to drink, and just talk about things of life.
Yeah.
And just have an honest conversation without that you have to hide things, because otherwise maybe you get in trouble, or she's gonna rat you out to the elders or whatever. And if you are in need, if you're lying in a hospital or whatever, it's not about only the JW religion. You see it also in families outside of the JW religion. If someone is getting into the hospital or is getting sick or whatever, that there's someone you can turn to who helps you with the groceries or helps you with listening to you when you are in trouble.
Absolutely.
And that's why there's so much mental health issues within the JW religion.
Yeah.
Because they can't make and can't afford and don't invest in a mental connection with another human being.
Can I give one more thing about this from the outside?
From the outside?
Yes.
Yes, please.
No, because I really understand how it is when you are inside. But for me, something that really helped me also, for you it was to be in a religion. For me it was being in certain relationships, because I was really afraid to be alone. So I went from one relationship to the other, and it were not very healthy relationships. But I just wanted to stay in a relationship because I was afraid to be alone. And what really helped me, and I was really afraid when at the time, it was 8 years ago, I think, when I was 30, after the third relationship that was so heavy, after years of relationships that didn't work out and that were hard to be in, I started to understand, like, Tom, you are doing something wrong. It's not the relationships, you are making not the right choices for your joy. So I didn't know what to do, and I was afraid, but I thought, I don't know, I just go, I just leave. So I left everything, I left my job, I left my house, and I went for traveling. I didn't even know where, but I just started in Asia somewhere, and then I went to Australia, and I just went traveling. And that's what I want to say to you also, that friendship with yourself is, I believe, if you start to build up that relationship with yourself, then you become so strong and happy, because you don't really need other people, but they give you joy, and you just enjoy their presence and their love. But it's not because you need it. And then you also are not afraid to lose someone. Of course, I don't want to lose you.
Okay.
I don't want to lose you because I'm so happy with you. But I mean the difference,
Yeah,
you know. Before
I
was so afraid, and when you're afraid, you
Yeah,
are
but
also
that's
jealous.
that's-
You have all these kind of
that's
things that you don't want to
dependency.
feel. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's because of fear. It's all the same.
It's
It's
all the same.
always because it's fear. It's there.
I am an addition to you.
Yes, and the relationship with yourself, to build that up, to understand yourself, to know yourself, to be there for yourself, to love yourself, to be happy in your own presence, and don't are bored with yourself and always need for everything around. It's really, I hope you also want to build up this relationship with yourself, and then the relationships around, they come and they will be so different than before. Really. That's my last thing that I wanted to say.
That's a really good and last powerful message, because I agree completely with it. You have to be your best friend first, and then you will see that everything around you will shift. If you shift that mindset, that you are powerful on your own, that you don't need anyone, but that you like the presence of other people around you. They are an addition to you, and you can exchange energy and joy and love and etc. Then it will go with the flow.
Yes, and don't believe that all the people will judge you, or there are a lot of people who will love you for who you are.
Yes.
Without thinking about what your past or anything, just for you, who you are. There are a lot of people. So let's connect, please.
Thank you for your motivation. That's a good one to end this episode with. Thank you all for watching. Like this video, share this video with anyone you think who needs to see this. Let me know in the comments about friendship and what your view on friendships now, and if you are starting or have started with what she said, building that friendship with yourself and on your personal growth, and that you become the best version of yourself. That's what we want for you guys.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. See each other
Thank you.
on the next episode.
Mwah.